Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast, and today I have something special. The 1967 Shelby GT500, a legendary muscle car and brand new release by Solido. This is hot off the shelves right now in January 2023. Not a new release, but a re-release in a fantastic color combo many of us had been waiting for a long time. So this is what the packaging looks like. You can see that it says Solido here, and then here at the top it says 118. Over here we have a little window to check out the back of the car, and then over here we have another window to check out the front. And then at the back we have a little history of the company. And down here we have a few licensing. So let's unbox it. Car is held with this tape, and then down here we have 4 screws. Carefully remove it, and there it is. Now in the box, back here, you also get a nice pick for the door opening. Here's the model. You can see it comes with a mirror. Now I'll just remove this attached tape here at the bottom, and we can review it. A little background story regarding this model. This first came out in 2019 in 2 colors, red with white stripes and slightly off-white with blue stripes. Back in 2019 I wanted to get the red one, but in the last second I thought that the big red taillights at the back of the car blended in with the red bodywork, and so you couldn't appreciate them as much. And that therefore I'd wait for Solido to release more colors so I could see if they looked better against a black or green body color. Well, Solido did re-release the car about a year or so later in a metallic dark blue with a slight purple hue, white stripes, and a beige interior. And again, I was very close to buying it, but then I thought that the metallic flaking was a bit too coarse looking for my taste, because I prefer gloss paint jobs wherever possible. And so while I was dawdling around, unable to decide whether to buy or not, they went out of stock, especially the red one. Solido then did a third release in a metallic dark green, with the same sort of heavy flaking, and without any stripes, so that was also a pass for me. And they also released it in a lighter green with the white stripes, and I believe they also released it in silver, but I think that was a limited edition. But finally, they released it in this gloss black with gold stripes. So I immediately bought it for the full MSRP of around 45 euros. Personally, I think the wait was worth it. This is a fantastic spec. The car looks amazing, and I'm going to take you through all the details that it has to offer. But perhaps a little bit about the car itself first. The Shelby GTs are the high-performance variants of the regular Ford Mustangs, and the 1967 Shelby GT500 is basically the big block evolution of what started back in 1965 as the more light and nimble small block Shelby GT350 Cobra into a more creature comfort oriented muscle car. Now, there still was a GT350 in 1967, but it was also the first year where the GT500 variant was introduced to the lineup. And it brings with it a 7-liter 428 V8, producing 355 horsepower. But the real deal was the torque, with like over 420 pound-feet, 0 to 100 kph acceleration in 6.7 seconds, and a top speed of around 220 kilometers per hour. These were some impressive figures for 1967. 1967 was also the last year where Shelby had some form of direct involvement in building these cars, as from 1968 onward, Ford took control and moved production over from the Shelby plant in LA to Ionia, Michigan. And these cars are really expensive. They go for like over $130,000, often more. So taking a look at the front of the 1967 Shelby GT500, you can see that the front looks pretty great. I think it looks very much like the real deal. We've got these sealed beam headlamps, and Solido made sure not to put any black pegs in them, like you may find on a Mazda, for example. We've got a chrome trim and some textured glass for the headlights. We've got 2 more lights in the center, known as driving lights. The 65 and 66 cars didn't have them. The grille is also nicely detailed. And then over here to the left, you can see that it says Shelby GT500. Got a beautiful chrome spoiler at the front, and then additional fog lamps down below, which do have black pegs, but they are separate pieces. Now moving up, you can see that we have these hood pins over here, and they're quite detailed. And then over here, we have the hood scoops. Up here, we have chrome window wipers, a little grill for the windshield washer fluid to drain. So this car comes with these gold stripes, and I think these were called Le Mans stripes due to Shelby's Le Mans heritage, due to them beating Ferrari and winning Le Mans just 1 year earlier in 1966. Taking a look at the side of the 118 1967 Shelby GT500, you can see the iconic shape of the Ford Mustang, and the golden stripe continues along down here at the side skirts. It says GT500 over here, and then you actually do get a nice 3-dimensional Shelby Cobra badge instead of it just being a print or something. So that's nice for this price category. And taking a closer look at the wheels, you can see that we've got branded Goodyear tires. These are 17-inch rims with the Shelby logo in the middle, and then we can see that behind we have a brake caliper, or perhaps it's drum brakes, I don't know. And then over here we have a side air intake to cool the rear brakes. The door handles are separate pieces. We've got a single chrome mirror up here, which also looks nice. Moving over to the back of the 1967 Shelby GT500, you can see that the back looks absolutely fantastic. This is what I meant when I said that I wanted to wait for a car where, you know, the taillights contrast with the bodywork, and the taillights just look absolutely stunning. They look like they're turned on. Unfortunately, they do have black pegs on the corners, but the center part looks great. You can see it is segmented into 3 different lights. The taillights, I think, were taken from a 1965 Ford Thunderbird. The regular 67 Mustang had small vertical tail lamps on each side. The gold Le Mans stripes continue all the way down to the rear license plate, which has California plates on it and says GT500. At the top left, we have the Shelby GT500 logo again. And this right here in the middle is the fuel filler cap with the Shelby logo on it. Flanking the rear license plate, we have the exhaust tips, chromed, and we also have an additional pair of reverse lights, which are also separate pieces, but they do have black pegs in the center. And finally, a quick look at the spoiler integrated into the deck lid, known as the ducktail spoiler. Something worth noting is how the rear windshield is attached to the rear deck via some ridiculously big pegs, but thankfully the black interior hides them. And now let's check out the interior of the 1967 Shelby GT500. Checking the door panels first, you can see that they have an interesting texture, especially here at the bottom. You even have the window lock. And over here is the window crank. But now taking a look at the interior. I think that Solido did a fantastic job with the interior of the 1967 Shelby Mustang. Over here, you can see a little badge saying Shelby GT500 on the dashboard. And then we have the glove compartment down there with Shelby's rally pack gauges above the gear shift. And above them we have the radio, like separately casted play buttons and tuning buttons and everything. And taking a look at the seats, these are also done pretty well. They have a nice texture on them, and you can see that they even have logos on them. In between the seats, we have a red fire extinguisher. We have got the roll cage at the back. The sun visors are decent. So yeah, I mean, this is a very nicely done interior. And over there we've got the 4-speed manual. And now taking a look at the driver's side of the 1967 Shelby GT500, you can see that the steering wheel looks spectacular. I mean, the spokes are made out of chrome. They have like the holes in the middle. They also have the wood rim. And then you can see here the speedometer and the rev meter, which are a little hard to read because I can't get my camera to focus more than this. But then we have 3 more gauges at the top. And then down there we have chrome floor pedals. So this is a very nice Solido interior. And the front steering, of course, works. And taking a look at the bottom of the car, you can see that the bottom is actually pretty detailed for Solido standards. Up here it says Shelby GT500 118 Solido, and we have a nice 3-dimensional exhaust system with the mufflers here at the back, fuel tank, and the exhausts. So this is pretty good, I'd say. So I hope you guys liked my review of Solido's 1/18 scale 1967 Shelby GT500. I think it was worth the wait. This is a fantastic spec. The details are good. The quality control could be a little bit better because there are a few flaws on the gloss black paint, so don't expect it to be perfect quality, but I mean, just look at this, it looks great, and definitely gives Maisto a run for its money. If you're interested in more reviews, make sure to check out some of the others that I have posted here. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, take care. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.